I've had talks, literally thousands of talks to different people. When I say to them, your parents actually hurt you, they say, no, they didn't. They were good. Yeah, that's why you just had that event happen that's related to your parents, because they were good. Now, they might have thought they were good, and you might think they're good too, but the reality is they cause some very painful emotions inside of you that start causing these effects. And we need to allow ourselves to face the truth of it. Can you see how truth and the issue of cause and effect is so closely related? Without truth, you will never want to see the cause. And you know how many of you are still afraid of hearing the truth? Do you know why you're so afraid? Because you don't want to know what the cause is. That's the only reason why you don't want to know, don't want to hear the truth. The truth allows you to trace backwards from this effect to its cause and to actually deal with it, to actually address it. The truth allows that. It's the only thing that actually allows it. And yet when we're afraid of truth, we're basically saying, no, don't tell me the truth. Don't tell me the truth. And when we do that, can you see what we're doing? We're not even relating the effect of what happened in our life to its cause. And it's like you're automatically creating in our own lives, we're automatically creating blindness. Now, most of us would get very stressed if we were placed in a dark room with no light ever getting in, and then told to live there for a while. For 2 or 3 days, most of us would be beside ourselves with distress. Right? But that's what we're doing our whole life. It's no wonder we're distressed. Because our whole life, what we're trying to do is we feel all these effects that we're blindly hitting into every single day. And yet when somebody comes along and says, look, I can tell you the truth about that event. No, I don't want to hear that. We have the feeling that we don't want to know. And we're not then relating the two things, the effect of what happened with its cause. And truth is the thing that does that. So truth is essential to our life. That's why truth sets you free, because it allows you to fully embrace the power of your soul. While you're dealing with an effect, you cannot fully embrace the power of your own soul, because your own soul has just created the opposite thing. So you know, while you're trying to rub out the painful effect, your soul's busy creating more painful effects. Now, you imagine you're sitting in your own home and you've got some children, and they just come through your kitchen, they get all the flour out of the kitchen, right, and all the honey out of your kitchen, and they spread all the honey over the living room floor and spread all the flour over the top of the honey in the living room floor, right, while you're sitting there. Now, many of you wouldn't even be able to watch it happening. Is that not true? This disaster that's happening. Now, while that disaster is happening, you could start cleaning it up, couldn't you? You say, oh, yep, my kids are about to put honey over the floor. Okay, I'm going to need a mop and a bucket and honey. What else am I going to need with honey? Over my carpet. Very hot water, obviously. Steam. Oh, the steam cleaner. I'll go and hire a steam cleaner ready for this particular thing that's about to happen. Right? And so you can just imagine how, you know, you see this event unfolding, and instead of stopping the child from creating the event, what do? You say, oh, no, they're allowed to create the event. I'm going to watch as it's happening, and I'll clean up after them. All right? Now, I don't know many parents that would ever do this, but this is what we're doing in our own life. We're creating train wrecks in our own life, and then we're just mopping up afterwards as we go along without addressing the reason why the train wreck's happening. Does that make sense? That's what we're doing. And it doesn't make any sense to do that anymore, does it? But we keep doing it, So we're going along mopping up after our own soul, which is appropriate because it's our own soul that created it. But we're mopping up after our own soul and also many times expecting other people to mop up after our own soul, don't we? We get angry when they don't. And so we're mopping up after our own soul. And all the time, you know, our whole life is like this, usually 70 or 80 years long, maybe 90 or 100 if you're lucky, right? And what you're doing the entire life is doing this. Mopping up as you go along. That's what you're doing. Now, it doesn't make much sense to me to keep doing that. Does it make much sense to you? And yet we do it all the time. So instead of doing that, wouldn't it be better to stop mopping up after the event? So we stop mopping up after the event. What we want to do instead, so instead of trying to rub out the event, what we want to do is the event caused a painful feeling or a painful thing to happen to us, pain effect. And what we need to do is feel it, feel it, feel it. Hey, everybody, hey. Won't you feel that there's something? We need to feel it.